In today's video, we're going to give you the best tips to help you stealth camp. So whether you're living full-time in your vehicle or if you're just going for a little vacation and you don't want to spend the money on a hotel, stealth camping is a great way to get out into the beautiful outdoors and explore new places while keeping it cheap. Now, I've been living in my Honda Element for 3 years, and in that time, I've learned a ton about stealth camping. So I'm going to give you those tips today. And in order to demonstrate that properly, I'm going to kind of walk you through what a normal day might look like if I'm stealth camping. So for that, let's head to the beginning of the day. So this was our sleep spot last night. It's 6:30 in the morning. It's absolutely beautiful out. One of the key factors to staying stealthy is you want to arrive late and leave early. So it's early in the morning. I'm going to head to a different location where I might spend the day and like hang out and stuff like that. Really, the main reason you don't want to hang out in the same place that you slept in is because people will begin to notice and recognize you, and then they might be more likely to call the cops or something like that. Move to the next location, which is equally as good, if not better than this one. Not a bad location if you ask me. So we're gonna hang out, do the morning things, brush your teeth, all that good stuff. If you're wondering where this is exactly, it's Crystal Cove State Park. Parking here daily is about $15 a day, but you can buy an annual pass. So you can park all day at beautiful spots like this and many more like it. They have restroom facilities, some even have showers. So it might be expensive up front, but I think it's definitely worth it in the long run.
It's time to go hiking. Let's go.
So we spent the night here in the khaki Honda Element. It's absolutely beautiful out. Well, I definitely worked up an appetite after that crazy run. Luckily, there's a Trader Joe's across the street. And just like that, we've got lunch and a view. You can't beat it. One of the most important things is to pick the right vehicle. So the Honda Element is supremely stealthy. It looks just like a normal SUV. It's boxy, so there's plenty of room. It has window vents in the back, and then also in the top if you have the all-wheel drive model. So it makes it an ideal stealth camper. It's such a small, like, compact SUV. It looks just like a normal car, and no one would take a second glance at it. A minivan is also another great choice for being stealthy, and any sort of SUV where it's long enough for you to lay down, I feel like most people aren't going to pay much attention to it. You also want to make sure that your van is looking pretty nice. If it's a newer van, people aren't going to look at it as much, but if it's an older kind of camper van looking thing, they look a bit sketchy and sometimes out of place. So you can definitely see the difference here. See that big Sprinter? It just stands out a bit more because it's just such a bigger vehicle. But because it's kind of a newer model, it still kind of blends in with this nice neighborhood. And this is also kind of like a construction site over here. So construction sites often help you blend in well, but it can be annoying with noise in the morning and construction starts. Here's a good example of how not to be stealthy. See how this van is like the only one like in this parking lot? It stands out, right? Because there's no one else in this parking lot. So it's very, very suspect that that guy's there. And even if you compare it, look at that box truck, right? That box truck, someone could be living in it for sure, but because it's just kind of parked next to that other car, it seems like unsuspicious, like it's supposed to be there. But this one, it doesn't. So avoid parking all by yourself in an empty parking lot, as tempting as that is. So let's say you have to use the restroom in the middle of the night. If you have to use number 2, good luck. But if it's simply number 1, perhaps you have a pee bottle, and that could be anything really. I personally like to use the Nalgene water bottles. The reason why I like to use these is because they're tinted, so you can pee in the bottle and then just take it to a like a public restroom and dump the pee in there, so you don't have to dump it kind of on the road. And because it's tinted, no one can really tell if it's water or pee inside of it. Just make sure you don't mix them up and drink out of it accidentally, because that would be gross. So if you're a woman in this situation, it might be a little bit more difficult, but they do make a product called a Shiwi. And basically this is just a plastic funnel, and hopefully that helps you pee inside of a bottle with that funnel. Only about 15% of you out there are female, so that's for you guys. Now, if you're in a white cargo van, there are some special tips that you can do. Is you can kind of hang like a yellow vest or like a construction hat or something, so it makes it look more like a work van as opposed to like a camper van, and no one would take a second look at something like that. So using those like decoys is always a good idea. And I use these window shades to cover up everything at night. And if your windows are tinted, that's gonna go a long way in keeping you stealthy, because when it's tinted and you have the window shades, it's very hard to see in and it looks like it's just a black window. So one of the first upgrades I did was to tint these windows, and that was a huge help, absolutely. And plus the window shades. By the way, if you're interested in those products and you want to help support this channel, use the link down below to find all of these products that I've been talking about here. And then also there'll be a small percentage that's given back to this channel to help it grow. So thank you guys so much for that. Those are the tips. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any tips or anything that I missed, leave them down below in the description, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.